What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Jcast. Well, back again with another video, you guys. Today we have one of 3 discussions that I recorded with Shixx after a session of us playing Solasta, and this one is about the new player experience for D&D and some of the issues and some solutions. I'll dive a bit deeper into what's going on in the video because it is another man in the chair discussion. So if you do like this style of content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will now pass it on over to me and Shixx with the Dungeons and Dragons rant. Yo, what's good, guys? I'm back here again with Shixx. We back ranting
Yo.
D&D again. This time, we're ranting new player resources and as well just the overall new player experience with D&D. And I think first and foremost, let's talk cost of entry. It is the most dumb thing that you have to spend upwards of $100 to get into this.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's if you don't get minis.
yeah, like if you just want the books, a book is going to run you 50, 60 bucks. And then you got to get dice, which is, if you go to Walmart, I know they sell some relatively cheap cheap sets of dice and packs of 3 for like $10. And in the case of D&D specifically, you gotta buy 3 to 4 books in order to play, which is absurd.
Mm.
It's like, what's the number one reason why people don't get into tabletops? Because it's so expensive for something they don't even know if they'll like.
Yep.
Like, I don't
They
even...
should have somewhat of a I don't know, I feel like there should be a base model of D&D that's just completely free. Like free player handbook, free monster manual, free DM book. And then like if you want to dive super deep into
you get the
the
expanded
depths of
ones.
D&D, you get the expanded manuals.
Yeah, funnily enough, Avatar Legends, to bring them up again, they actually did that with these free
Yeah.
reference books you can buy. They're not great by any means, but they work, right?
Yeah, it's like
They
it's like
give
it's like a
you a
demo.
bit of information, just enough to get you started.
Yeah.
And then, oh, well, if you want to continue, you gotta drop I think their books were like 30 to 40 a pop, which would be a more reasonable price as well.
I mean, you could argue that online there is a lot of free resources. You know, like
Sure.
D&D Beyond gives you X amount of things for free without needing to buy anything. You know, but what about the people that don't play online? You
Yeah.
know, like the IRL groups.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them I've seen do also kind of use D&D Beyond these days to kind of keep track of their character sheets.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are those like really old school people that do like to keep track with that pen and paper.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
them nothing beats it,
No, it really doesn't.
which is fair. I'm not dissing on that at all. But also, it's just like, I don't know. It's weird because it's like, how do you get a new player in? You know, you can entice them all you want with collabs, crossovers. But at the end of the day, when they're looking at a $60 price point for 1 book, let alone 3, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, and like most of those new players aren't gonna know about D&D Beyond. They're gonna be like, well, if I get D&D Beyond, I'm gonna have to buy the expansions too. So
Yeah. I think,
they're not gonna know that you could pull off an entire campaign without buying one.
right. I think another good thing that they could do for point of entry cost wise, lower the book cost.
Yes.
If you lower it to 30, 40 bucks, more people are going to be willing to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lego,
Lower the core book cost and then make more modules. People love modules.
yeah, lots of people love modules. Not really me, but
Personally, I don't like modules. I like homebrew worlds because I'm a writer.
yeah.
But most people love modules. They collect the modules like they're fucking Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And they just dream about the days of playing these modules, and they're just like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do this module. Hell yeah, I just ran this module. And it's like, have more of those, and
Yeah.
then have the core books be cheap as fuck.
Yeah, have the core books be $30, $40 at most, right? Lego is the perfect example of this. You have people rushing to spend $30, $40 for a small set that's like maybe 400 or 500 pieces. Maybe. Like, they've somehow figured it out. How to, like, manage their price points so well. And I think if D&D did a bit more looking at that, and as well, this goes to any tabletop, right? Because I think if I go to Amazon right now, as a matter of fact, I think I have it pulled up. Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade, $48.37 for the core book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, for the love of God, Wizards, stop making a book for each little thing. You don't need a player's handbook and a DM's guide. Merge them together.
Facts.
Every other tabletop does it. Vampire the Masquerade has the core book, and that's all you need. You don't need the player's guide from Vampire the Masquerade.
No, you really don't.
You don't need the player's guide for Pathfinder. You just need the fucking core book.
Yep. Does Pathfinder even have a monster manual?
I believe it does. Let me look that up real quick. I also know that their book is thick as hell. They do. They have a bestiary.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of understand the monster manuals.
Yeah,
like
those are nice, but also
but the player and the
not
and the
necessary
DM, no.
for new players.
Right.
Right, because if you just put in some naturally in the core book, people can use them.
Right.
You don't need all the fancy shit.
Yeah, just put goblins and fucking
some
rats
cultists.
and some cultists, and then you're good.
Maybe put in a Tarrasque.
Fucking no.
What? Okay, fine. How about a demi
We
lich?
don't. No.
How about the swarm
No,
of
most people aren't
Tarrasques?
even gonna get to those monsters, so don't even put those in there. They don't need to see those.
But how about the swarm of Tarrasque?
Hell no.
Come
I would
on.
say the most dangerous monster you would get in a core book is probably an owlbear.
Okay.
That's probably the strongest thing anybody's ever gonna
Yeah.
fight.
Throw in some goblins, some
Like
kobolds.
I would say 80% of the players are not gonna fight anything stronger than an owlbear.
Yeah. You know, if you throw in all that into your core book, right? I can maybe see spending $50. Maybe. If it gives you everything you need in one book.
Or the price of a video game. Just have everything in one thing.
See,
and
don't
price
say
of a
that.
video
Don't say
game,
that.
fair.
Because video games are like $70 these days, dog.
Yeah, but still, it's like $70 and it has everything there.
That's fair.
It has dice, it has a core book, has the player book, has a little bit of monsters in it. Has a coin. Maybe has like some pre-made characters
Or a small
maybe
adventure.
one or two minis or a module.
Yeah.
$70.
A small
Fuck yeah,
module or something. Like a level 1 to level 3 game or something.
Yeah.
That is something I will sing the praises of Daggerheart on, is that it's one book. You got 3 mini adventures you can run. You got some enemies in there. It gives you everything in one book.
See, like that is that is like a video game experience.
I literally think
It's like
as
if
well.
you package it like that, that'd be good.
I literally think as well they give you as well sample like example characters in the book as well to show you what a completed character would look like. Something else I think is great is like the first few pages of Daggerheart is literally telling you what a tabletop RPG is.
Oh, another thing, maps.
Fucking hate maps. Hate making them.
But we shouldn't have to make them. Is the thing.
No.
Like there should be more maps made by the creators.
Yeah. Um,
Like every single city should have a map. Every single, main building within that city should have a map.
and you know what?
And you should be able to just get a book of maps.
And you know what's funny? It's funny you mention that because I think there is like a third party company. I know it's not like Wizards or whatever, but like there's a third party company that literally just has a book of maps.
Yeah, I mean it's smart. That's what fucking wizards should do.
But they're not doing it. Um, I think, but that's also a small like thing of like that new player experience, right? Is like the cost. I mean, that's a large majority of
Yeah.
it, but also go on YouTube, right? And type in advice for new players for D&D. You'll find more videos for helping DMs than you will helping new players.
Yeah.
Like, you have your one or two videos from, like, a Ginny D, maybe, that'll help you out. But there's not a lot of new resources for, like, helping a new player understand a race or understand how a class works mechanically.
Yeah, there really isn't. And I think the main reason why is because like people are like, okay, if we teach people how to DM, their DMs can teach their players how to play.
Right, and it's like, but
But a lot of times players don't know the questions to ask.
mhm,
And they don't know what the DM is supposed to do and what they're supposed to do. And if they don't know that, then, the DM can know everything and still not be able to help these players.
yeah, I think the best video out there is an actual play D&D campaign that happened many years ago, back on Geek and Sundry. I forget who
Oh
the
damn.
DM was, but it was like this small little campaign that had a mixture of new players and experienced players. And you literally see in that campaign, the first episode, I think, is literally just him sitting down with all of his players, creating the characters and walking these newer players through how you make a character.
Mm-hmm.
If we had more videos like that for players to watch, these newer players to be like, oh, okay, that's how that works. That's what this means.
Right. And I mean a lot of new players when they come into D&D, they have this idea that it's players versus the DM.
The only time it's players versus the DM is combat.
So like they feel like they don't want the DM to know what they're doing. Like
Mm.
they kind of want to like build their character behind their DM's back and like get one up on their
Yeah,
DM. So
which is kind of where the joke of
which
like, oh, it's session one, player walks in. Oh, so I'm already level like 17. I farmed against goblins? When? Fucking when?
which I mean is fair. I mean I get it. That's kind of fun. The one of the fun parts of being a player is like get one over on your DM. Even I've done that a few times or attempted to.
Uh,
So I can get the allure.
yeah, but do it in a way of like capitalizing on a mistake that they made within combat, right?
Right.
Or do it in ways like that. Not do it with your character.
Or like a clever way to use a spell
Yeah,
or, something like that.
yeah. Find a way that makes your DM go, wait, does that? Does that pulls out his massive book of does it?
Yeah.
It does. Okay.
Oh shit. All right. Yeah.
If you guys don't know, every
Good
DM
shit.
has an imaginary book of does it work like that? And it's this big 3,000 page book.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Unless sometimes it feels like that.
I mean, it really does. Yeah. I mean, I think that happens about once a session at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A player that me and you commonly deal with, he does that to me a lot. You know who I'm talking about. Where
Yeah,
he'll
yeah,
like
yeah.
find a unique way to use something, and I'm like, wait a minute. Pause. Huh?
Yeah, I had this player. He's like, "Hey, if I use Mage Hand, can I like have it appear inside their brain and make their head explode?"
Did he? Did it?
I'm like, "No, you have to be able to see. If you can somehow see inside their head, sure."
It's like,
He's like, "If I poke them in the head and then do it," I was like, "Yeah, theoretically."
right. But if we had, and that's kind of more of a critique on D&D based content creators. Maybe me and you will make a couple of videos like that. Who knows? If you guys want us to do a video like that where we kind of walk you guys through like a character creation, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll kind of make that new player content.
I will say the best classes for a new player to play is either a ranger or a fighter.
A barbarian as well.
I wouldn't go a barbarian
Why not?
because most new players forget that they can rage.
But that's the fun of it.
Right, but if you forget to do it, then you're one of the worst classes.
Eh,
And most of the time they forget.
that's fair. That's fair. But yeah. And, don't worry about your first character being like super cool and like super expressive, right? It's okay to have your first few characters be generic fighter man or generic ranger guy or generic this, generic that. Being able to get wacky with it will come with the time.
Wacky with it.
You know what I mean? Where you kind of like really start to figure out those weird intricacies and you kind of like make a character that just you're like, yeah, like all the cool
Yeah, I just
characters you would have seen on things like Dimension 20, Critical Role, and all that. Those don't just happen.
it's
Some of
true.
those people, it took them years to kind of like go, oh, there you go.
Yeah, I just pictured a halfling whacking at an orc's ankle when you said that.
Hey, hey, you say that, but I played a halfling cleric who didn't want to be a cleric, so she left her home to go become a
Yeah,
great warrior.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she ended up with a great axe from an orc that she could barely swing, if at all. But that came with time to figure out mechanically how a character like that would function.
Right.
Don't focus on making the most interesting character. Just make the character.
Yeah.
You know, Learning how to make a good backstory, that'll come with time. You'll
Yeah,
get there.
that'll come with time for sure.
And new DMs as well. Don't worry if your first campaign's not perfect. All right, don't worry about that. Just play.
No.
Just
Yeah,
run the
as long as
game.
everybody's having fun and laughing, then
Exactly.
don't worry about it.
Eventually, y'all will figure out the rules as you go. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither does skills and experience in D&D. Some will pick it up quicker, some won't. Just work with it. Give it time. Don't just play a session and be like, "Oh, this is dumb."
Yeah, and don't just play one mode or one version of D&D and be like, yeah, this ain't for me. No, I mean, I'm a firm believer that D&D is for everyone. They just need to figure out their style. They
Yeah,
just need to figure out the way they want to play it.
right. And and also if you played one version of D&D like 20 years ago, you were probably playing with Thaco. That doesn't exist anymore. You don't have to be afraid of wind speeds anymore.
Oh. Yeah. And if you don't like dealing with encumbrance, then don't.
Yeah, that's the best part about D&D is it literally lives on the idea of rule of cool over rules. Like a
Yeah. If you
great
don't want to deal with like rations and eating and making sure your party has food,
yeah,
then don't.
and experienced DMs that are working with new players. Don't force them to have all these complicated mechanics out the gate. Ease them into that stuff.
Yeah.
Just drop them in. Get them going. Going back to the rules or guidelines thing, a great pirate once told me there's a pirate code of conduct. The rules, well, actually, they're more like guidelines. Shout outs Pirates of the Caribbean. For the Pirates Code that aren't code, it's guidelines. You don't have
Right,
to
right,
abide
right,
by
right.
all of them. I mean, hell, there's a rule that's not even a real rule that everybody plays by, and that is natural 20s always succeed. That's only in combat. If we look at the rules as they're written.
Yep.
But everybody's like, I mean, if you roll the natural 20, it's such a rare thing to do. You just succeed.
Right. I mean, unless it breaks something.
Yeah. Or unless you're like level 15.
Like if you roll a 20 to persuade a god, then I mean, eh,
Maybe not.
it might not work.
Also, to all
But you
you
might
new.
make the god laugh.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It might be a success, but wouldn't be a critical success, right?
Right.
Things like that are up to discretion. If you're level 15, you're not succeeding on a 20 because the DC you're not critting on a 20 is because the DC on that roll is probably like a 30 or a 40 with the
Right.
modifiers and all that. So it's like, learn the rules gradually. Don't don't read the whole book cover to cover if you're a new player. Because then you'll just overwhelm yourself. So that's a daunting task. Especially if you're looking at Pathfinder, that's like a $400 or $500 core book. 500 page core book right there. It's insane.
Uh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I would recommend if you're new to tabletops, do not play Pathfinder.
no, Pathfinder is not new player friendly. Definitely play something like D&D 5e first. Pathfinder is for
Or
those.
5.5 even.
Yeah. Pathfinder is for those who've played D&D and understand it. Because it's harder.
Yeah.
You get
It
to
is
do
way
cooler
harder.
stuff in Pathfinder, but also enemies hit harder.
Yep.
Uh, you know. And that's another thing, right? If D&D wasn't your thing, well, maybe try the Star Wars tabletop system. Maybe try Daggerheart. Though Daggerheart's not new DM friendly. It's new player friendly, not new DM friendly. I read that book cover to cover. It confused me. And I run things like
Yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah.
The most narrative based system out there.
Yeah, I think honestly the easiest system I ever ran was to this day the Fantasy Flight Games version of Star Wars.
That's the FFG, right?
Yep, Fantasy
Yeah,
Flight games.
yeah. That's Age of Rebellion, Edge of Empires, all that shit.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yep.
To this day, that was the easiest tabletop system I ever ran.
Well, easy until we decided to break it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I decided to break it because I was like, you know what? I want it to be more complex.
So he broke it, and then we broke it further.
Yeah. It's because like, well, I started I started fusing it with 5e, so it was like FFG fused with 5e, which just made it super fucking complicated.
Yeah,
But it was fun. So
and then we somehow broke it.
yeah, and then yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Look, man, somebody lost an arm all over an NPC that was supposed to be a throwaway. It was a time.
Yeah.
And you too could have those times if you just give it a shot. And don't overcomplicate it. And I think that's about everything I've got.
Yeah. On new player resources. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Do
there's
let us know if you guys want us to make some new player tip videos though,
yeah,
for sure.
100%. I will 100% be down to make those with you, Shixx, as well as anybody else who would be interested in helping out
Yeah.
with that project.
Yeah. We
Just
could even do like a class breakdown for each class. That'd
yeah.
be fun.
Yeah, and also same as the last video we did on this, let us know down below if you guys want us to talk about specific systems. Because between me and him, we have learned a lot of systems.
Yeah.
You know, and we can talk about a wide variety of what we do and don't like about certain systems. And even breakdowns for new DMs and new players of those systems. But with all that being said, everyone, I've been Jake Castrell. He's been Shixx. You guys have been the viewers. And we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Peace.